What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. In today's video, I want to get into the New York Jets play calling and some things that they absolutely have to change offensively going into week 2 and beyond in this 2024 season. Reminder for week 2, I am doing a watch party in New Jersey, in Keansburg, New Jersey. Really excited to be at the Beach Gallery. Doors are open at 12 o'clock. They'll have the sound of the game. They'll have a DJ going during the commercial breaks. I am very pumped up to be there. It's free to go. They recommend you RSVP. If you RSVP, you're guaranteed to get a spot. You don't have to RSVP, you could just show up. But again, if you do RSVP, you are guaranteed to get a spot and hang out with me as we watch the New York Jets against the Tennessee Titans. The owner is a diehard Jets fan, really excited to go out there. So support a local business, support another Jets fan, and come out and have a good time. Okay, so Dylan of Jets Nation does an excellent job. Please, make sure to give him a follow. I really love his work, and he goes through and tracks personnel usage and play calls. And it's really a useful tool if you're interested in those kinds of things. And something that we saw in week 1 with the personnel, and we'll get into some decisions and all that and later on in this video, but the personnel showed some concerning things to me. The Jets ran 11 personnel 37 times, which is 75.5%, 12 personnel 20.4%, 21 personnel, they ran it one time, 2%, which was the kneel down, and then 13 personnel, one running back, three tight ends, one time. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the kneel down. 21 personnel, they just ran one time. Ruckert only started the play one time in the backfield, although they did motion a lot into lead blockers as well. So they used 11 personnel, by far the most, which is honestly a little bit surprising to me. If you don't know what 11 personnel means, is 3 wide receivers on the field, 1 tight end and 1 running back. It's very common in the NFL to use that formation, but for the Jets, I think they put themselves in a disadvantageous spot because of what they have available right now. Mike Williams, clearly by his play, his inclusion in this game, he played 9 snaps, isn't ready yet. So when they go 3 wide, it was Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, and Xavier Gipson. That's not good enough. Again, I don't think that's their strength going 3 wide. I think their strength would be going 2 tight end. That is a significantly better personnel grouping, I think, for them to run in the time being. Again, when Mike Williams a month from now or 2 weeks from now, however long it takes for him to get up to speed, is good to go. If you're going 3 wide with Mike Williams in the mix as well, that makes things a little bit different. And then you're mixing in Lazard and Gipson from there, I guess, are rotating as like the third option. But Wilson and Williams, good. Wilson, Lazard, Gipson, not so much. That's a little bit of a red flag. So I wouldn't want that on the field as much as the Jets did it. Again, I'm not saying you can't run anything out of 11. Sure, you can. But 75, almost 76% of the time is way too much 11 personnel. And there were just some things that really bothered me from week 1 that I would like to see the Jets change. And something that I view as a positive is, I think as the season goes on, especially, Aaron Rodgers is going to get more comfortable and make more changes at the line. There were a few checks at the line that he did and ended up being successful. Even the touchdown pass to Allen Lazard that he had was a free play. So, he's still Aaron Rodgers and one of the best guys who can take advantage of a free play. But again, as the season goes on, I think he'll be a little bit more comfortable and change some things. But the plan really seems to be for the Jets that, they're going to call in, they being Nathaniel Hackett really, is going to call in the formation. Rodgers gets the line and they diagnose things. But the issue that I had from this game was I don't know if the Jets were using some of the right formations for the different circumstances. And one that really bothered me was, I think you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'll put it up on the screen. The absolutely telegraphed run on 3rd down and 1. They had Tyler Conklin standing next to Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall behind Conklin, and then Allen Lazard was set in motion to the left side. Where is that ball going? Everyone in the entire world knew that Breece Hall was getting the ball in that spot. Now, what I don't understand, you could run the ball and be a little bit more creative with it, but Why was Braylon Allen not utilized in any short yardage situations? There was 3rd down and 1 on that drive, 4th down and 1 on that drive. There were 2 separate 2-point conversion opportunities that the Jets had. They were down by the goal line, and Braylon Allen did not touch the ball until the final drive of the game when Aaron Rodgers was already taken out. Game was over. Tyrod Taylor leads them on a scoring drive at the end in garbage time. That's when Braylon Allen first saw the field. Why not on either that 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 right after? And also on top of that, like, why not use Olu in either a 3 tight end set or as an extra blocker or an additional offensive lineman, a 6th offensive lineman on the third or 4th and 1 on the goal line? Like, you have this, I'm going to call it a weapon, even though, yes, Olu's an offensive lineman, but a starting caliber offensive lineman as your swing tackle. Use it. The Jets' plan, at least I thought, was to punch teams in the mouth, play really good defense, and run the ball and just beat them on the line of scrimmage. And that's really the exact opposite of what they did. They were great offensive line and pass protection. They got pushed around in the run game, and they ran light sets constantly with 3 wide receivers on the field. So just very, very strange. Something else that stood out, Malachi Corley, only 1 snap. And look, I was the first one to tell you that they're going to bring Malachi Corley on slowly, but even that is a bit extreme. They're going to use him sparingly. I understand that, but if you love him so much where you're trying to trade up for him for, like, I don't know what, like close to 30 straight picks. They started around pick 45 and they ended up trading up to the 1st or 2nd pick in the 3rd round to grab him. Utilize him. I'm not saying he's got to get 8 touches of the ball, but I think you could design a bubble screen for him or an end around. I'm saying give him 2 to 3 touches a game, somewhere in that mark, to change things up and be a little bit unique, because it was all Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard. And believe me, I love Breece Hall. I love Garrett Wilson. I think it's important that those 2 guys are your focal point of the offense, but not to that extreme, man. You got to spread the ball around a little bit more than what they did. Last thing for me, please, Nathaniel Hackett and company, ditch the run, pass. I know that this is going to be a run-first team. That's something else that I've stated quite often over the summer. I think Breece Hall is going to get a ton of carries, but I thought Braylon Allen would get more carries than what he did in week 1. I'm just asking that they do it a little bit more creatively. Every first down doesn't have to be a run. It ended up being around 47% of the time on first down they were running the ball. On that final drive, I think that really ended up skewing the numbers, but it felt like constantly, the Jets were running on first down, running on second down. They'd get into like 3rd and 5, and then that's when they decide to throw. You have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. I'm not saying you have to throw 50 times a game. That's insane. But you can get a little bit creative with it. He's good on the play action. He's not as mobile as what he once was, so I don't know if he's like necessarily you're rolling him out and getting him to do things on the move, but you can be a little bit more creative than what you showed. At least I think. So, yeah, I was a little bit frustrated with the offense. There were some positive signs as well, like Rodgers spinning the rock and still looking like Aaron Rodgers is a major win for the New York Jets. But going into the season, a concern was the coaching. And coming out after week 1, I don't think Nathaniel Hackett really eased anyone's tension. I definitely don't think Robert Saleh eased anyone's tension. So they have a really big test in week 2, and I think this is going to be their first opportunity to show what they could really do. I think they're a better offense than what they showed. And there were some flashes, as I mentioned, but just kind of asking Nathaniel Hackett to stay out of the way. Just let Aaron Rodgers do his thing. Guys, that's going to do it for me in this one. Thanks so much for tuning in. Once again, Matt O'Leary here. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you next time.